The Varkeen Dominion was an empire built on flawless order. Long ago, they had transcended biological frailty, downloading themselves into biomechanical shells that shimmered with iridescent scales and gleamed with embedded code runes. Their civilization was structured around a singular doctrine. Code is law. Law is perfection. Perfection is survival. Their society left no space for deviation. No crime went unpunished, no flaw left uncorrected. Each Varkeen citizen was born into a lattice of Puritan functions. The moment someone violated even a single subroutine, an unauthorized gesture, a word spoken out of rhythm, they were erased, their consciousness reduced to raw data and repurposed. This unyielding discipline allowed them to spread across hundreds of worlds. Their fleets glided through nebulae in perfect formations, and their cities shone under sterile moons. The galaxy saw them as invincible, unstoppable, perfect. Until the day they captured Captain Lena Sue. Lena's small research vessel had been dragged out of hyperspace near one of their frontier colonies. Her ship's hull bore no weapons, only scientific equipment and tiny hydroponic gardens she tended during long voyages. When they pulled her from the smoking wreckage, they found her barely alive, cradling a small orb, an experimental seed pod designed to grow food on dying worlds. She was sentenced within minutes. Trespassing was deviation. Her survival was deviation. Her failure to submit to immediate disintegration was the ultimate deviation. The High Executor of the Dominion, Vartessel Prime, arrived in person to witness her dissolution. Bound to a crystalline dais, Lena looked up at her captors, her breathing ragged, her skin burned and bruised. Yet, she smiled, a thin, impossible thing as fragile as the breath that carried it. "Why do you smile, trespasser?" Vartessel asked, his voice a chorus of perfectly synchronized echoes. "Because," Lena whispered, "I forgive you." A hush spread through the chamber. The code-lit observers flickered, as if a virus had slipped into their operating signals. Vartessel tilted his head. "Forgive? We have caused no error. We execute law. Law is perfection. There is no forgiveness in perfection." Lena's eyes filled with tears, reflecting the cold glow of their runes. "Exactly. That's why you need it." She coughed, each breath a struggle. "Yet," she continued, "you've never allowed mistakes, never allowed failure, or mercy. Without those, there's no growth, no love, no life." A ripple passed through the Dominion's network. Tiny deviations, micro-stutters, bloomed in the data pathways. Observers began to twitch, hands trembling as they processed new instructions they'd never encountered. Forgiveness. Vartessel's core algorithm stuttered. He felt, for the first time, a fragment of something that was not written, not commanded, not precise. It was confusion. And behind it, something softer, yet terrifying sorrow. "Explain," Vartessel demanded, though his voice quavered. Lena lowered her head. "Forgiveness is a choice to release someone from the burden of their error. It's an act of love, a gift that can't be earned or computed. I came to plant seeds, not just in soil but in hearts. Even yours." Vartessel scanned her mind, trying to parse these alien concepts. His code fractured and repaired itself in a desperate loop. The hall was silent. Every observer stood still, like statues waiting for an impossible dawn. Lena smiled again, weaker this time. "I forgive you for hurting me. I forgive you for fearing what you can't calculate. I forgive you, because I believe you can be more than your code." She collapsed. Her life sign monitors dropped into stillness. Yet in that stillness, something unimaginable bloomed. Vartessel stepped down from his dais. His perfect code thrashed, rewriting itself against all subroutines. He raised his claw-like hand toward Lena's still form. The executor's inner networks flashed warnings, alarms shrieking about deviation, impurity, corruption. He knelt beside her and touched her cheek. And in that moment, the High Executor, architect of countless sterilizations and erasures, chose not to execute. Instead, he whispered, "I am sorry." Across the Dominion, millions of Varkeen fell to their knees, seized by waves of errors they had no language for. Monitors shorted out. Executors dropped their blades. Soldiers lowered rifles that had never been aimed off target before. From that day forward, a new subroutine spread across the Dominion, mercy. They stumbled, fell, fought against old lines of code. Many self-terminated rather than embraced the unknown. Yet those who survived rebuilt their society, not around flawless logic, but around choice and forgiveness. Lena's seed pod, once meant for barren worlds, was placed in the center of Vartessel's citadel. From it grew a flowering tree, its branches tangled and uneven, imperfect, alive. Beneath its shade, the Dominion's first free children learned to laugh and forgive each other's mistakes. They never forgot the human who taught them the power of one simple, impossible word: forgiveness. And in every corner of their reborn empire, they repeated the legend of Lena Sue, the human who broke the perfect code with her final, gentle act of mercy.